Welcome to TelecomTV's Top 10 Mobile Moments, where we're taking a look back at our 20 years of supporting MWC and its 3GSM predecessor. Now, TelecomTV's first event after we launched was 3GSM in February 2002. I'm sad to say that we can't find any of those tapes. They've all joined the legendary Lost Archives alongside far too many episodes of 1960s Doctor Who. But we did find a lot of great footage from 2003 and every year since.
And we start at number 10 in our countdown, and that means now. That's what I call a phone.
Do you remember the mobile phone before it became an anonymised black slab? Well, here's a tale for the kids. Once upon a time, they looked very, very different. Hardware differentiation was a big deal, and I mean proper differentiation, not just shaving a couple of millimetres off the thickness or adjusting the radius of the corners. Ray, can you remember back to your first mobile?
Remember it? I'm still using it, Guy.
Well, I should also add that phones were also rather boring. Groundbreaking and revolutionary, yes, but quite honestly, ugly as sin.
I don't know how you can say that. Works of art, all of them were.
So, what do you want to have? Let's go with seafood.
Oh, early app right there. Looks like a restaurant app. Text only, of course.
There's only one restaurant, which is closed.
Goodness me. Oh, what's that then? That's, oh, phone there, but a Siemens phone. Now we've got an Ericsson one. Blimey. They've all gone and had their day, haven't they?
Going to set it up, and as you see the Eiffel Tower's in the background. This is written in Java software.
Wow, is that a game? Looks like an early driving game. Is that
Start the game.
the Eiffel Tower?
Racing my way towards the Eiffel Tower.
Key.
Yeah, it is.
Oh dear. Well, yeah, they all came in different sizes, as we said, real market segmentation.
And look at that. That has to be one of the very first colour screens, surely. But what a difference. Wow.
Well, back then, most phones were built around the Symbian operating system, long since vanished, but at the time it was state of the art. Microsoft was trying to muscle its way in, one of several doomed attempts, as was surprisingly the Linux community, led by Monte Vista, if you can remember them. I had to Google it. Anyway, here they are making their pitches back in 2006.
The standard operating systems no longer cut it. The standard operating system being the operating systems that are inside the existing phones that most people don't know the names of, but they've grown out of their power, and it's time for a step up in the capability of the operating system in phones. So Symbian was created because our investors, Nokia, Ericsson, Motorola at the time, realized that the in-house operating systems, for exactly the reasons I was just saying, were running out of power.
The reality is, Linux is one of the few operating systems that can actually scale from a wristwatch to a giant supercomputer, making it very customizable and well suited for a number of devices out on the planet.
It wasn't sufficient just to shrink Windows, and that's not at all what we did. We actually built a multitasking, multi-threaded, real-time operating system kernel, which is called CE, which we built Windows Mobile on top on, that runs on the ARM architecture and across a variety of different hardware and chipsets.
Oh, little did they know that they were all doomed. Fun fact though, Motorola was the first company to commercially run Linux on a mobile, although only in China. Now, moving on, here's a nice little piece of long forgotten trivia. When the GSM Association decided to promote 3G with a low-cost entry handset, they chose LG. Now, sadly, LG also joins the ranks of ex-phone makers. 12 mobile operators have selected a multimedia phone by LG Electronics as the winning handset to spearhead the campaign. In total, 18 handsets were entered, and the LG KU250 beat off competition from 7 other vendors. The phone, which contains a Qualcomm chipset, will be available at a wholesale price around 30% less than the typical entry-level 3G device.
Through the collaborative effort of LG, Qualcomm, GSMA, and GSM operators, third generation mobile service will finally be accessible to millions of customers for the very first time.
The phone with an unforgettable name.
Never mind the phone, who was the teenage reporter on the scene?
I have completely forgotten. Anyway, here's my favourite phone mashup. When Sony and Ericsson joined forces on handsets, the idea of a PlayStation phone must have been top of the wish list, or at least a close second behind the inevitable Walkman phone.
Hi, Layla Mackey here, and we're at Mobile World Congress, and in my hands I've got the Sony Ericsson Xperia Play, which, just by the look of it, just looks like a regular smartphone running the latest Gingerbread 2.3 when it launches, 4-inch capacitive display, but when I open it up, we've got the PlayStation phone, so a real rich mobile gaming experience. We've got a couple games loaded on here like Bruce Lee and the FIFA 10, so let's go ahead and give it a little play. We're told that it will have 50 titles at launch from 20 different partners including Blue Mobile, Gameloft, and Electronic Arts. So will the masses flock to Nokia? Okay. It's hard, man. I'm tired. I've lost my voice. Okay. So will the masses flock to a dedicated gaming mobile phone? Well, if we look at the Nokia N-Gage devices, they didn't do so well. But the Sony Ericsson Xperia Play could. We'll find out next month when it goes on sale exclusively on Verizon Wireless in the US. Thanks for watching. I'm Layla Mackey, and see you next time.
The one and only Layla Mackey there. TelecomTV's former gadget gal and host of Press Play, when we used to take an interest in devices. So many of those early phone vendors have just come and gone. There are even companies I had actually forgotten made phones, and here's Toshiba from 2009, and the choice of OS may be a clue as to why it has faded so completely from memory.
One key element of this device is a very slim form factor. If you look at this is 9.9 millimeter thickness, which is 20% reduction of the thickness of the leading device in the market currently. So this is a very far slim device with a large high quality screen on there. We introduced the new Internet Explorer coming from Microsoft version 6. Internet Explorer 6 provides a better user experience in terms of function and also the user interface.
And digging through the archives, I found this little curio. Who knew that between Dick Tracy and the Apple Watch there were other attempts at creating cellular-based watches? Very limited numbers, woefully lacking in features, and apparently sold, for a time at least, by Orange. Not a lot of people know that.
Well, I have to say I am hooked. I love old movies.
Well, we placed this moment at number 10, just making it into our top 10 countdown. But what do you think? Any memories to share? If so, get in touch with us, email, LinkedIn, or the form on the website.
But stay tuned, because coming up next is number 9.